Because the thing about truth, you don't have to defend it, it stands alone. So if he's saying that I made and created you in my image, that's not right. That is truth. It opens conversations outside of me when they go back to wherever their temporary home is. It's creating a Q&A with themselves and God and make them make decrees over themselves. And I'm like, listen, don't think for a second this is just helping you. It gives hope to me because I can see the transformation and it's all triggered by love. It forges love to find expression outside of our emotions. So although I feel fear, although I feel grief, because I see that just last week, I saw it. And I'm like, hey, just sit down for a minute. Let's walk through this thing. Let's process it. And it wasn't time. And it was this eruption. And I'm like, it's okay. I understand. I've lost somebody. So I will probably have those same emotions. But let's not create a narrative because of this emotion that you don't truly understand yet. So it goes back to the love and the response that love creates so much different from the response that hate creates.
The response that love has is different than the response hate has. You know what? I feel like we just had a bit of a shift here, Chris. And there's a thought in my heart I want to share. And then I'm going to ask you to pray because I think those who are listening might be going through something,
Yeah.
or those who will hear soon or hear later, that in this season where so many things feels uncertain and we're trying to navigate with God in the way that we understand God. Growing up, I'm speaking personally within Christendom, there's was so many beautiful things, but also some really not so great things as well. And I didn't want to focus on those aspects because what we focus on grows within us. But there was also some things that I preached and taught as someone in ministry that I had to reframe as the Lord began to pull me out of religion. One of the things I had to do was forgive myself for teaching because I taught in good faith based on what I knew at that season, recognizing that we've created separation within ourselves. Like God healed our body, but we are responsible for our soul. And when you talked about that exercise of bringing the pieces of ourselves that have been hurt and traumatized to the wounds of Christ, it creates a truth narrative that He has paid for that. He didn't just pay for our spirit and our body and left the soul out. He actually brought a full-fledged finish. And it brings me back to Isaiah 53, that He was wounded and bruised in that conversation, down to the fact that He was the guilt offering for us. He allowed His soul to be touched for us. In another group, we were having this conversation around Acts chapter 3 and the restoration of all things, of when He'll return, when there's a restoration of all things. There was a statement that has been resonating in my heart, and it's found in the Mirror translation that says, He is the restoration of all things. You know, He is the restoration of all things. And He became us in human flesh. So this beautiful thing of Him dying for us is eclipsed by the reality that He died as us. And He became our restoration of all things. Every wound, every trauma that we're currently experiencing, the way it frames in my heart is that it hasn't yet been introduced to the trade already paid. Part of what we get to do is introduce it to the restorer of all things, who has already said it is finished. We are experiencing in time what has already been declared outside of time. So it no longer has a voice inside of us and robs us of the beauty of our priesthood and the beauty of coming into love, because we'll know that we're worthy of it because He paid for it already. So there's this necessity in this season to do as what Song chapter 2 declares at the end of that chapter, to go and hide yourself in the cleft of the rock. Let Him hear your sound. in that place of union in the rock who is Christ, who has become our firm foundation.
Mhm.
He's going to partner with us to catch the foxes that are going to try and rob the garden that he desires to meet with, which is in our heart.
Mm.
And he'll do it together. So there's this call to ask of us in the season, will you catch the foxes with him? The lies, the arguments, the held traumas that makes you not love you, because that prevents the beauty of loving your neighbor as yourself. And it also limits how you can receive his love. So you'll go out and love God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, your muchness, because you think you have to earn it. But it's really a response of love compelling you to respond with the same love that he showed you first. So in all of that language and all of that communication, if you're still here, if you listened to the conversation thus far, I'm going to invite you to still your heart. In the myriad of sounds out there, let love have the loudest sound. Hide yourself in the cleft of Christ. Give him permission to garden that heart of yours so those foxes can be caught, so the nature of love that you are becomes the fullest expression inside of you, because it's important for this season, for the things that are and the things that are being revealed. We want his sound in us known, and he wants it more than we do.